This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again today. We've got Webb on the line. Webb is, as you know, a broker owner from Royal LePage Kelowna, somebody that we love to work with and to share ideas and concepts and things with. And Wade, welcome.
Thanks, Chris. Glad to be here.
Good, good. So, Wade, there's a lot of stuff going on in the market right now, and you're a resource for many of us at Royal LePage. So I thought I'd tune in with you today to get your 2 cents worth on some of these topics. Um, what are some of the things that you think agents should be thinking about to keep fueling their business at this point?
Sure. So I'll open with this. I think it's important right now that everybody on this call, even though I'm going to give you some lead gen ideas, I think there's a couple of premises I'd like to set up before I share these ideas so that people don't think that I'm coming across as not trying to be safe and sensitive. In all fairness, there are people around the world that are losing their lives. So this is serious. So I don't want to be disrespectful in any way to the concept. And so being sensitive to the hurting, I think is key importance to this for everybody on this call. And to never underestimate what someone else is going through. In this time, you never know, and everybody's. There are people out there that are hurting today. There's people that are having difficulties, and I'm not trying to preach doom and gloom. I'm just being make sure that we're cognizant of that sensitivity and that everything we're doing right now is with empathy and sympathy,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's incredibly important. To just set the stage before we go into the nuts and bolts of things of that. And I want to just preempt that some of you may not like what I tell you today, and I get that, and so I just want you to know where my heart's coming from today with this message, not from being a capitalist and make money and things like that. That's not what I'm doing. I think this is a message of being resourceful and resilient, and not one of being a capitalist, and that the time is not right now, to be able to have anything else other than empathy and sympathy, and to be resourceful and resilient. And so I'll start by one thing that I'm going to just throw out there right now, as I'm going to be starting, and you can start this too, Chris, is start to change our wording with social distancing and replace that with physically distancing. Just we are created as humans to be socially connected, and I think that that's for me, that's personally one of the reasons why I love guys like you and people in my life so much, and that is because our social interaction and our connection, man, our friendship. And so
Right.
we can start this ourselves by changing it to physical distancing. And then I was on a mastermind group with a group of amazing business guys all around the world yesterday, with my business coach Les Hewitt, who coaches me, who wrote the book The Power of Focus, and Les was in this mastermind group which invited me yesterday. And the best mention came out was stop saying social distancing and use the term creative closeness.
Creative closeness. That's a really interesting
Creative
statement.
closeness, right? And
So,
physically distancing and creative closeness. And I thought that's an absolute brilliant term. And today, what's going on today, and to change that mindset and that, and to be creatively close, because that's what we are created, and that's how we were as humans, and that connection. So I want to just open up with those thoughts, those ideas, before we just jump right into business.
yeah,
Just like we tell our agents, ask them what they're praying for before you answer their prayers. So let's just set the stage for that before we jump into what we think everybody on this call wants today, if that's a fair comment in that. But we're going to do that because that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm helping you guys. So I'm going to tell you what I think you want to hear. Unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity, everybody that's going to see this video, to ask you what you're praying before I answer your prayers, but we'll do our best today in that. But I wanted to set the stage with those thoughts and challenge those ideas before we got into that, if that's okay with you.
I think that makes absolute sense. But you've really got my curiosity now. So, creative closeness. I know you're going to go deeper, so let's just get right into it because I'm really
Sure.
intrigued.
So we all understand that we are a full contact sport, sales, and it's face to face, voice to voice, belly to belly. But so we have to think outside that box. We've got to use that that God-given talent of creativity to look at and say, what is it that I've been doing all this time, and how do I creatively still maintain that community, maintain that connection, maintain that closeness, maintain that relationship with my people. Now, this is a test for every single one of us in your business, is that if you haven't been connected and haven't been close, you'll figure out real quick how close and how connected you've been by the base of the number of transactions, number of deals, and the number of business that, right? And if you haven't, then don't panic, because here is the greatest gift you've been given.
That's
Is you've
so
got
true.
right? You've got the greatest gift. You can look at this as the curse, or you can look at this as the gift, man. So you've got the greatest gift in the planet to be able to have the time, because you're locked down at home, for crying out loud. And now you've been given the opportunity to say, I'm sorry, and now I'm here. How you feeling? What's going on? And how can I help? And so right now, the message right now is using your creativity to be outside the box and to be safe in that, and to look at this as a gift in that, and to be able to rebuild, man, to reload, to reset your business and reset. And so this isn't market share opportunity. This is relationship share taking time.
So
Does that make
Wade, it's
sense?
kind of like the old apology letter, but without any of the remorse that was attached with that.
Exactly. So you're using the confessional letter, but you actually sincerely are showing them, not telling them without a letter, is here it is. Like, I'm not, I'm sorry. Like, how you feeling? What's going on? Like, how can I help? And that. So, we've got one of our mentors, Brian, using that confession letter. Like, you need to use that more than ever. And if you haven't been doing that and haven't established relationship with people, there's no better time than the present. Because if you don't, some other
That's
creative,
right.
motivated, helpful, caring agent is going to take relationship share while you are not showing up. If that makes
So
sense.
makes perfect sense. So it's the same concept that we've been working with all along, only we're applying it a little bit differently, using
Yep.
technology, using
Yep.
calls and resources like this, but we're
100%.
but we're coming from contribution with empathy. How are you? Are you
100%.
okay?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. I mean, universal principles are universal principles. They don't change, right? What you've got to do is you've got to use that creative brain of yours to think outside the box. And if you need to mastermind with other fellow agents to get that creativity and come up with the ideas, then do it, man. You got time. Like, what else are you doing? Like, seriously, get off Netflix. Hey, don't get me wrong. Ozark 3, season 3's on tonight. I'm pumped just like everybody else on this call. But dude, I'm gonna continue to do what I need to do right now, and there'll be plenty of time to watch Ozark 3. It just
Yeah.
isn't right now. That makes sense?
Totally. I said to our guys the other day, I said, I'm super excited as a business coach because this is the first time in a long time where if you tell me you don't have time to work on your business, I'm going to
Yeah,
call bullshit.
100%. It's absolutely true. It's like absolutely, like you think about it, it's the 80-20 principle. So I'm not picking on 80. I'm just using this to just challenge the 80. Do not do what the herd are doing, right? Do and go against it, but be sensitive, be safe, be empathetic, be sympathetic in that, and be creative and be resilient and be resourceful. Like, seriously, dude, like those are like, and right now, prepare and reset your business, right? Reset your business and prepare, because nothing is going to be the same from here on in, man. Like, seriously, nothing is going to be the same here on in now. How we learn, how we do things, how we communicate, things are just changing so rapidly. I used a blog quote here from Vladimir Lenin, not John Lennon, but Vladimir Lenin, that said, in decades, there's nothing that happens sometimes, right? But in weeks, there's decades that happen. And
Right.
this is a week that decades happen, man. Like, it's insane. It's moving so quickly and so fast that a decade has happened in literally a week or two.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm not going to BS anybody in the call. I'm the eternal optimist, and I'm thinking this and that, and I'm thinking to myself, 2 days later, I'm like, oh my God, you like, what are you talking about, Wade? This is for real, man. Like, the Mr. Positively motivational speaker, rah rah bush bamboo guy needs to get real. This shit just got real, and it's time for me to get real and resourceful in that, and still maintain that. And I'm going to start with my tip number one. So tip number one for you guys right now today is self-care. You ready? Acronym: MEDS. 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 Mindset, exercise, diet, sleep. Self-care. If you're not good, then you're not going to be good for yourself. You're not going to be good for others, right? And so for those people on the call, okay, for those people that are the givers, the people pleasers, and that, okay, right now, Now more than ever, it is time for the givers on this call to ask if they need help,
Right.
right? You need to ask because you got to have someone else or something filling you up so that you can continue to fill others up in that. So it is massively important for all those givers on this call is to understand self-care, but it be a man, be a woman, whatever it is, ask for help, right?
Right.
Right. I have had my emotions have been catapulting up and down for days on end. Tears, anger, sadness, and things like that. And the one thing I also share with you is that gratitude, if you're grateful and you're in the state of gratefulness, guys, you cannot be sad, you cannot be mad, and you cannot be afraid if you're in the mindset of gratitude and gratefulness. Pure and simple. Try it. Try and be pissed off. Try and be sad. Try and be right afraid. In that, when you are grateful for a guy like you on this call, or for that something easily you can think of that you're grateful for, that I don't have it and I'm healthy and I'm going to be okay, and my family, we're spending time together. Like, you got to look at the things and remind yourself and use that exercise for self-care. And so mindset is gratitude is the biggest thing for mindset. Exercise, be resourceful. There's so many agents I'm finding that we're under quarantine and doing their exercises online and showing us their routines every day. Good on you, right? Like cans of paint and that. Lori Waters
Yeah.
from Saskatoon,
That's
like
so good.
killer
Yeah.
girl, like good on you, right? And diet and sleep and things like that. I'm not going to BS anybody. I mean, I sleep very little the last few days. I mean, I crash because I'm exhausted the other day, and then I'm back up and ready to play ball at 3 a.m. Right? I'm sure that
Right.
lots of people are on this call are the same thing, but getting as much rest and sleep and that, and it's not rocket science, but it's mindset, exercise, diet, sleep. First one, meds, self-care. Make sense?
Yeah, totally. So is there an environment maybe where people can check in with one another and do some of these things? Like I think Lori Walters and even like Jennifer Shields, who's doing yoga online, would be
Yeah.
totally game for setting up groups and doing these things together.
100%. And so I'll tell you a great story about encouraging community and community, right? So my kids are 16, 17 years old, big hip hop fans and that, and DJ and that. So there's this guy, I don't know if you heard the story about the DJ D Nice, DNICE, and
Never
he's on
heard of them.
Instagram. He's on Instagram, bro. And so he only had on Monday, last Monday, man, or this Monday, he just only had about a couple 100,000 followers in that. And he started spinning tunes every night, and on his Instagram account in 24 hours, bro, he had 2 million people following him, and it
Yoy.
went viral because he's letting everybody dance in a dance party and getting escape and that, and spinning tunes online. And that, think about agents, what you could do creative, what you could do for relationship share. Imagine that DJ, what kind of business, when this thing all turns around, that what kind of business and reputation and what he's going to do and what he's going to generate for himself when this is all said and done. Like, that's absolutely
Yeah.
insane relationship share that he just captured, right?
That's amazing. Yeah. So on the same note, Wayne, there was a group over on the East Coast that I'm aware of. It's called Quarantine Karaoke. And they're getting on there and they're doing what George Hios is doing, and they're singing
Right.
songs and having a really good time. But one of my Filipino agents here in Calgary picked that up and created a little group of Quarantine Karaoke. And now his community is doing the same thing. It's
Right.
blowing out, creating the
Right.
engagement, bringing people together a different way. And it's awesome.
Absolutely. So it leads to my next idea, guys. We got Zoom, we got Hangouts, we got GoToMeeting, we've got all of these different things. Okay. Now, how many of you guys have offered for all your databases to show up? Q&A, to nurture them, to check in and do that and create a kind of a platform for them, and you be the straw that stirs the drink, man. Like, seriously, how simple is that to use Zoom, Hangouts, whatever, and invite your people to jump on and ask questions about their mortgages, about their real estate, about health, about whatever, run past ideas of their businesses and their struggles and things like that. Maybe just to have a beer and toast you online or whatever, like, but create that community with your people and invite them. And it doesn't matter if you only got 2 people, that's 2 people that you deepen a relationship with that night. And that
Yep.
is better than zero, my man, better than zero,
Right.
right?
Share the link with them and get them to
Yes,
bring somebody you don't know to the party.
right. Right. And they ask
Love it.
questions and they, right. And then so encouraging that community and using that and being resourceful, insightful, and doing exactly what these DJ Sync is doing, or D Nice, sorry, and what George Hios and everybody else is doing. Like it just how we can integrate it to what we do for a living, right?
That's fantastic. Oh, that's awesome. I'm like picturing a whole like client event scenario, right?
Right. It's not rocket science. And again, just like Brian Buffini always says, it's easy to not do, even easier to not do than it is to do. And that won't work for me. And the brain will get and the voice will get going. You're not going to have anybody respond. You'll get in the link of this and that. And that. You only
Yeah,
have
yeah,
1-2 people in that, right? And then 80% of us on this call just shut that wicked idea down. Did you feel that?
right.
That was
Yeah,
80% of the group just shut that idea down. But
yeah.
that's okay.
I get.
The 20
I
of you that are doing it, good on you.
That's right. Because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
100%, right? It's
Right.
so true.
Yep.
I mean, you've heard this over and over and over again. I guess your database calls, right? So existing clients under contracts, okay? Tell them you're here for them. They got their back. What do they want to do? Right? Don't dictate to them. Ask them what they're praying for, how
Right.
they're feeling that, right? Be sensitive, empathetic, right? And just be careful in that, not to be ramming people into stuff. This is even more traumatic right now when there's clients under contract, okay? Simple 10, 20, 30 people a day. How you feeling? How you doing? Anything it can do? Drop off, pick up. What do you need? What do you want? Your leads and calls. The agents that are on are contacting old leads. Everyone's home. Everyone answers. Everyone's responding. And so they're responsive. Like one of my guys, 150 calls in 2 days. Two people were not nice, were jackasses, and everybody else was responsive. Some had said we'd already bought already, but thanks for calling and that. And these are dead leads, man. Dead leads going through their
Yeah.
lead base and that. Renewed about a dozen buyers that are ready when the timing's right in that. Like it's rekindling. You don't need to spend new money because you've got all old money sitting there that you already spent that you haven't done anything with already, right?
That's right. One of my guys said the other day, he goes, Chris, I'm calling people in my database and they want to hear from me. They're actually excited when they answer the phone and they hear that
100%.
it's me.
Yeah,
It's
it's
awesome.
crazy. It's crazy. So simplicity, keep it simple, Stu. That's the problem with most people in the call is their brains like, it can't be this simple, Chris. It can't be this simple, Wade. It can't be that. It won't work for me. It doesn't work in this city as it does in your city and that. It's all bullshit. And you got to just take that voice, squash it and kill it because that's not truth. That's not
That's
truth,
right. Agree.
right? Um, you know, shout out to guys that are connecting and giving shout outs to business owners and service providers. They're reaching out to, imagine that we just talked P2P, now B2B, man. How many small business owners, business providers, people in that right now need somebody to reach out to them right now and ask them how they're doing, what you could do to help, how could I promote you? If you're at it, can I just do a shout out every day to a business that they're providing delivery or takeout or pickup, or like just think about the opportunity on the B2B platform.
I
It's like,
know. Yeah, I was talking
right?
to Tori Matson from Medicine Hat today, just
Yeah,
about a couple hours ago, and he was saying like when they want food, they're ordering takeout, and when the takeout shows up, they're filming the guy coming in from out of the car, leaving it on the porch, and beating feet, and then they're saying like this was so nice because we had such a hard day with the kids and we were engaged in like coloring and doing all the things that parents aren't used to doing all the time. So it was a huge relief, and they're shouting out to those businesses, and the business owners are absolutely eating it up. And Wade, that promotes small business in our communities, which is going to be vital to our recovery out of this, right?
100%. Like you think of all the spin-off from it. Now you have the opportunity to be their agent of choice. Now you have their opportunity to keep their business and business alive. Then you keep your community alive and you keep all your area alive. Like the impact is absolutely exponential. Crazy,
Right.
crazy exponential potential there, right? So we're all P2P focused, but man, oh man, there is an untapped business and service opportunity here like never before, you guys. You become the straw that stirs the drink for the business people and the service providers. Look out what's going to happen, man. One guy, Tyler Blaney, I'll give him a shout out, Calgary guy. The
Yep.
dude's putting a Calgary job Facebook page. We're hiring, and he's connecting people. Like so simple but so powerful. Don't know if it's working, but it doesn't matter. The perception that he's creating an opportunity for business people and service providers, and he's being that straw. Good on him,
Yep.
right? Good on him,
I've seen the group. Yeah,
right?
totally agree. Yep.
And everybody in this call can do the same. Every call, right? And that Canada Post is still up and running.
Yeah. What?
What? Weird, right? So, like, Canada Post is still up and running. Unaddressed ad mail, direct mail, personal handwritten notes. Weird. They got time to read them. They'll totally not expect a personal handwritten note right now. And Canada Post unaddressed ad mail. Now I'm getting into some gray water.
Here
Get
we
it?
go.
Get it? Right? Here we go. Okay. Right. So anybody will open a personal handwritten note with your returning address on it, and that, as long as they know who you were, and you did a good job of maintaining contact with your clients. Okay, so let's not even question that one. But if you can use this messaging, it's a message of, we need your help. So if you have a bona fide buyer still wanting to buy and you need help, you use this messaging: we need your help, can you help us? Right? And then the next one is your listing. If you still have an active listing, and the listings that you have out there, asking people, we need your help, we need your help. Humans are naturally programmed to say, when human says, hey, Chris, can you help me out, man? And their
Yeah,
first
man.
response to anybody is, what do you need? Okay.
Yep.
So your messaging is very, very important here, that you have a buyer that needs help. You have a seller that needs help, right? And you need their help. And that, would you take time to help it, and tell the story of that bona fide buyer, or tell that story of that bona fide seller? A price reduction, again, another opportunity to shout out, we've repositioned. Can you please help us? Please help. Now, be careful not to breach your fiduciary duty and come across as desperate in that. But there's opportunity there for unaddressed ad mail and flyers and things like that to be able to use that system. Okay.
Yeah,
That
so
makes
wait, I've
sense?
heard it does. Question though, I've heard some people say like now's not the time to be boasting about how we're doing in business and stuff.
No, 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 no.
Is this that?
No, so that's exactly. So the last thing I'm going to say, on every one of your written messages, you offer them to be a source for pickup, a source for delivery, a source for a ride, a source of connection, to connect them to service people and businesses and people that are experts that they may need assistance on. You're their community advisor, their community provider. But by the way, I do have this legit persons, these buyers or these sellers and these people that I do need help, and I'm not trying to be insensitive and not trying to be respectful in that, but I'm just doing my job to serve them. And in the meantime, how can I serve you in my
Right.
messaging of that document? Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense, which is one of the reasons why real estate's an essential service, isn't it?
100%, right? And
Right.
100%. Okay. Now, tell 20 door knock. We're not door knocking, it's unsafe. But
Right.
tucking something like this, if you don't have the means to pay for Canada Post, then flyer dropping, and the same thing, you're messaging only the way I presented it and offering assistance in that. And I know this works because one of my agents is dropping off a care package at the same time as their tell 20 for a seller, and it has some swag in it and an offer to help and assist in that. And a half a dozen people called her that evening and thanked her for the care package and the assistance of helping her help the clients that she needs and help. Does that make sense?
It
Right?
does, but let me just create some clarity around this because I think you're hitting on two things that are really important. There's
Correct.
two sides to this story. There is the we are coming from contribution and we're here to help you, but then the reciprocal of that is also true, whereby we're saying we also need your help. You can help us, which
Correct.
allows people to engage in a way that makes them feel really good, right?
Correct. And so she added a grocery pad to it and a pen to it as a token of a gift there with no expectation of it. And people called her and thanked her for all of that stuff, right? And she's never met them. It's in her geofarm area, right? So it had impact, and she got an incredible response that next evening. Okay.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We've got Facebook campaigns, right, that you can do. Again, you can be creative on that. And so you got to be careful on your ad spend and how you deliver it and messaging and that. So be careful on that side of things. But again, without trying to do business, you can run ad campaigns that could help business providers and service providers to help people in need in that. There are going to be buyers and sellers that are going to need your help, whether we like it or not. But I don't think this is the time to be promoting distress sales and foreclosures and the typical lead bait. Be careful and be sensitive to that, right? And have that. Plus, reach out to the agents that have a ton of online leads in the past, those that don't have any, and ask them for a referral fee that I'll call your leads that you never called, that you already
Right.
have in there, your old leads, and I'll pay you a referral fee if I get something from it. And
Yep.
I don't think a lot of agents will have to gut new lead bait and spend in that. They could just call other agents that have a ton of leads that haven't called already, and
Yep.
and help each other and coordinate each other. So let you work on that between your sphere and between your own agents and your own people in that. But I think there's a huge opportunity where you don't need to spend new bait. You could just find somebody that's already got a whole bunch of old bait that they never followed up. Let's not
Right.
kid ourselves.
Yeah, maximizing on that opportunity vortex that was created when they were buying the leads, but they couldn't service them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I know one of my super teams in my own office has got thousands, right? So I mean, like, there's plenty to go around for everybody. And if you don't have any, reach out to those teams, reach out to those people that have it, and offer to follow up and offer to pay a referral fee in exchange for that. Right? Makes
They'll
sense?
do that all day long.
All day long. So in 1992, when I started, okay, the crash, everybody's house was worth less than their damn mortgage, right? And
Yep.
so the only thing I had was a telephone book and a phone, right? And it still hasn't changed, right?
What?
Right? So this makes incoming and outgoing calls, right? Epiphany. And
Yeah.
that's so back to dialing, but not dialing. You're dialing to serve, not to dialing to self-serve,
Yeah. No
right?
dialing for dollars, dialing for service.
Right, exactly, right. And so it still works. In 1992 it worked, it will work in 2020, and the response will be something that you will not even expect. But don't let the voice kick in, don't let it tell you that you can't do it. Don't start off, yes, get on the DNC and check on the do not call legislation stuff, and that I'm not disregarding that at all. But at the end of the day, right, the phone still the most powerful tool on the planet. Okay.
How would you respond to somebody that says, "Well, I don't want to text everybody"?
You don't text. No mass emails, no texting right now. Okay.
Exactly.
Right?
Why? Why,
Non,
Wade?
because that is the most impersonal, the most mass. That is looking like you are just like a flyer company or a telemarketing company or anything else. You do not want to mass anything. It is one call, one person at a time, and show people that you have their best interest at heart. Not, you don't have anybody's interest at heart when you do a mass text or a mass email, bro. None. That is
That's right.
nothing but only yours. And any turkey on this call could do that, but it takes a real true person to pick up and do it one at a time, one at
Right.
a time, right? And
Yep.
show them that they're that important that you did it one at a time. I can't even tell you how many one at a times I've had this last 2 weeks, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And you cannot mass email, you cannot mass text, okay? And no auto dialers either. No crap, right?
Yeah.
Right now,
Well,
it's one at a time.
yeah. I mean, what's the emotion of the client that's receiving the text message from you right now? Whatever he's feeling, he's reading the text message with that attitude in play. So there's a lot of really, not so nice feelings out there. So, the call leaves nothing to the imagination, right? And builds the relationship.
Right, which leads to my next idea is that after you finish your telephone call, now it's a drop by opportunity, not a pop by opportunity, right?
Right.
So you listen to the need on the call, you fill the need of the consumer that you just called, your client, your relationship, and then you fill that need and you do a drop by and you fill that need.
Okay. Dial down. What does the drop by look like?
So you get the call, you call a client, hey Chris, how's it going? I listen, I ask questions, I find out what's going on in your world and that, and I'm looking for that moment where I see the need, where there's a need to fill in that. So for example, maybe
Wade,
you're
I
having
need toilet paper.
done, boom, there's the drop by opportunity. Or I just need some help. So, or this and that. You're just listening to those opportunities where you can, and ladies, shout out to you, you're way better at this than guys, because
Yeah.
we just want to fix
Relationships.
it, right? We want to fix it, right? And you guys want to nurture it, so good on you. So
Yeah.
guys, dig into that inner self and that inner sensitive self and dig deep and find that touchy feely way in which you can service that need. It isn't toilet paper. It might be for some, but you're
Right.
listening for that need and you're doing that drop by. Couldn't help but hear that this might be helpful for you. Boom, thought I would drop it by. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And that.
So on the call today, I was hearing like, we're not used to being in the house. The three of us, the kids are home. It's a lot of engagement. We don't know how to keep everybody busy, right? We're doing the best that we can. The message was we don't know how to do anything, keep everybody busy. So, the need that you can fill is like, let's bring something over. Maybe it's a game, maybe it's something that helps
Right.
them create engagement and build a relationship inside their family.
100%. And I know there's areas that maybe people can't go out, but maybe you have a board game already at home and take
Catan
your own
online.
board, right? And then just drop it off for them, right?
Yeah.
Right. And now, right, and to be sensitive to it, but ask if it'd be okay if I've got extra games or I've got extra ideas or things like that. Drop off a coloring book and a pack of crayons. Like, don't underestimate the simple power of the simpleness, right? Like you just never know what's going to have an impact on them, if that makes sense.
That makes complete sense. And I love the, how did you say it again? It's not a pop by,
It's
it's
a
a
drop by.
drop by.
Six
Beautiful.
feet, wave out the door, honk, call them, let them know you're out there. It's on the doorstep. Show them the love, wave, keep going, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a great story here in Kelowna. A lady's got going around anybody's got kids with birthdays and creating a parade of people who have time in their hands to drive by and wave and wish that kid a happy birthday. How brilliant is that for a drop by? I'm like,
I
that is
love
just
it.
ridiculous idea, right? Ridiculous
That's
idea.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
cool.
We
So
did
cool.
something the other day that I thought was fun. We drove around to some of our agents' houses who have compromised immune systems, and I opened the sunroof in my car, and I got out of the sunroof, and I texted them and said, "Look out your window." They came to the window. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
"Ah!"
yeah.
It just
Right?
lifts people's spirits, right?
100%. The power of the simple. Virtual coffees, virtual lunches, virtual happy hours. There's not an agent that doesn't want to sign up to that program, right? And
That's
that
right.
virtual board games, karaoke, DJing, whatever your gift is, and that virtual and invite people to do it. There's so many incredibly talented, gifted human beings that can do amazing things other than sell real estate. Now is the time for you to use those gifts and talents and shine and
Yeah.
create a community and a virtual experience for your peeps. And it doesn't matter if it's only one person. You made a difference in one person. That's a good day, man. That's a good day.
That is so true. And they're going to talk about that because it means something to them.
Yeah, 100%. Last but not least, you have time now to sharpen your skills. Okay. So if you don't know how to use this technology, if you don't know how it's going on with the world and that and how things are moving so quick in the last 10 days, this is your time to YouTube it, figure it out, and learn. Learn another language, learn another skill on how to do your business remotely and how to do it through your mobile devices and at home and in different places and that, and to be remote and to be mobile and to be able to get up to speed right now because you have time to get up to speed. Take the gift of time and get up to speed, man. This
Hmm.
is not going to change. You got to get it. And then learn your sales skills, adapt your empathy skills, your listening skills, all these different things that you can learn and do in that to improve yourself and make yourself a better person and a better professional person. That's like the greatest gift ever, to be able to do this stuff. Read good books, watch good videos. This isn't time like, yeah, I'm not trying to steal away and be a Debbie Downer in that. You can take 45 minutes and watch an Ozark episode tonight, which I will. I'm not going to BS you, right? But it's not binging time for Ozark and then 3 days go by and you haven't done nothing and then you're so exhausted because you've been binging Netflix and then you got no energy to learn anything or do anything or give to anybody else in that. So hopefully that makes sense. As sharpen your skills, video conferencing skills, video tour skills, video on your phone skills, digital communication, documentation, working on your home tips, working at home tips, learning how to work at home and mobile and remotely, sales skills, communication skills, language skills. The opportunity is endless of how many skills we could all improve, right? And that this is the time to sharpen the sword, and whoever comes out on the other side and takes that time to prepare will be even better and stronger. And you should be very afraid of the agents that are taking the time to learn and sharpen their skills right now. Be very afraid,
Yeah,
right? Because when the time is right, they will then wreak market share
that's right.
because they're busy doing relationship share right now. They're going to sharpen it and get it. And when the time allows itself, they will absolutely tear up and take back market share like they've never had before.
That's awesome. So Wade, if we're doubling down on education, we're getting sharpened up, we're dialing in, where are we sending people to do that? Where's some resources that all of our agents in the entire network can go to get access to those types of things?
One of my mentors said GTS. Google that shit. GTS, right? And so there's so many platforms that there's so many things available, and so there's so many gurus: Brian Buffini, Richard Robbins, Wade Webb, David Knox. Like there's just so many places. I have been creating more content and more tools for the toolkit than I ever have because I have the time to do that and to do so that the resource and agents boost is there, right? And it's there and it's available and that. And so this is the time where educators, they'll be able to shine in that and provide things like that. And so if you have a talent or gift that you can provide and share online, look out, man, look out. It's going to be an opportunity for those educators online for sure. The demand for teachers and educators online in the profession of real estate alone, like I've been inundated with requests to do teachings for ARIA and for BCRA and all these different organizations and that, because people have got the time and they need it for that and to sharpen their sword in that. And so like for those people on the call that you never thought you were a communicator or a trainer, educator, think of the opportunity it's going to be coming to yourself as long as we're on lockdown and we're needing to spend some time doing something creative and productive, right?
Right. Yeah, really good point. We could also go to the Royal LePage Network. We've got a whole bunch of resources on there. And you skim, but you don't ever give yourself any credit, but you skim by your brand. Your Agent Boost website. What's the URL for Agents Boost?
AGENTS, agentsboost.com. Like I said, I'm preaching what I'm living what I'm teaching here. So this is not a time to sell anything, bro, or do anything
His
in that.
face is red right now, and he's like,
I
Chris, I
know,
can't believe
I
you
know,
did that.
I
But
know. I'm
wait,
all blushed up.
it's
There's
actually it's a super valuable resource. It's probably one of the better websites out there. So if you are going to dial down on education, if you haven't heard of Agents Boost, that's a great place and a great resource. And even if it's as little as signing up for your newsletter or your blog rather,
right.
it's worth doing, right? So
I appreciate that, bud. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like you said, a shout out to Royal LePage Kelowna, a shout out to Royal LePage Benchmark, all these brokerages and these agencies. I'm so proud of the way our brokerages and our agency and our brand is just rising up and being a pillar in their communities and that. So it's awesome, right? It's just amazing that we are our character and who we are as a brand and an organization and a company. This is a test, and I think that we're all passing it with flying colors so far, and we just got to keep that going.
agreed. All right, buddy. What else do you have? What do you have in closing?
My closing thoughts, my closing thoughts would be this: is that the biggest thing is to never let an opportunity slip away. Okay. And to look at this as a gift or a curse. It's your choice. So everybody on this call today and everybody on this video has an opportunity to make a choice. The choice is yours. Your choice is to see it as one of the worst thing that's ever happened in your life. And my son said, "Hey, Dad, this is just one of those times in my life that I'm going to look back on and say, this is it." And I said, "Son, this is it, man. This is one of those times. This is like historical, mind-blowing times in that." And I said, "Jude, you have an opportunity here to make a choice. How you're going to respond and how you're going to react and what you're going to do and what's going to happen next, man." And he's like, "Yeah, Dad, I do, don't I?" And so that's the question for us all: is that how are you going to choose, man? Are you going to choose to miss out on the opportunity and have that glass half empty and let it crush you, or are you going to rise up and are you going to be somebody that's coming on the other side that's bigger and better and had an impact on so many people's lives in this particular time? And that, so I hope and pray that everybody chooses the better of the two, right? But we all have that choice, and so I challenge you to choose wisely and to choose to not lose this opportunity and miss out on this time. It's a short window of time in that, and we don't have any idea. My wife, I'm going to shout out to her right now. Every single morning, man, she says, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning, she's like, "Get out of bed, day by day, one day at a time.
Yep.
Figure out who you can help, who you can serve, and then tomorrow's a new day."
Wise.
Right? Tomorrow's a new day. We each have each day. It's day by day. You have a choice. Get up, serve, take care of yourself, take care of others, and then tomorrow's another day. No guarantee in tomorrow, but today you got to do what you got for today's the biggest gift you got is today, right?
Yeah.
And don't let each day go by missing out on that opportunity to be able to do it. Take it day by day. That's all you can do. And that's what I do every morning. Okay, let's go. Let's go. And I'm honestly not feeling like I want to in that, and I'm not kidding you, because you know you and I are jacked up on adrenaline and life all the time like this, right? But I mean, in the mornings, I'm not going to bullshit anybody. It's a grind. You get up and you just get out of your bed, get out of your jammies, get there and get up and get going and figure out who you can help and who you can serve.
That's right. Focus on the plan and not the problem.
100%. 100%.
Okay. Wade, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit and chat with us today. As always, you're an amazing resource, and I truly value our friendship and everything that you bring to my life. So I'm going to end on that. Stay on the phone while I turn the recording off, and really appreciate you, man. And thank you so much.
Pleasure, bud. Right back at you. Love you too, man.
Okay.